What's weird about your body? My body does not make its own antibodies. So once a week for the last 15 years, I've had to get an infusion of antibodies that are pulled from plasma donations. If you donate plasma, thank you for keeping me alive. I know what human spinal fluid tastes like. Last year, a sinus specialist discovered I had a 7 mm hole in the wall between my left sinus cavity and my cranial cavity. No clue exactly how long it's been there, but I've had a runny nose as long as I can remember. It was spinal fluid. Very salty. Got it patched up, and after some insane headaches while my cranial cavity regulated the pressure, I'm doing much better. Edit. I've seen replies of people having the same symptoms. I highly encourage you to see a specialist because CSF, cerebrospinal fluid, leaks are how meningitis can happen. Tell your doctor that the liquid is clear and watery and has a very salty taste. Those are the hallmarks of CSF. My teeth roots are all shaped like hooks. Full on candy cane shapes, going different directions. My dental x-rays are a Lovecraftian nightmare. My right ear has a little point at the top, like an elf. My son's right ear has a notch, like it's missing the extra I have. Weird. I sneeze when I'm really hungry. My birthmark is on my inner ass cheek and it looks like I missed a spot when wiping. I have extra pair of ribs, and both of my kidneys are on my right side. If I have an asthma attack in my sleep, I usually dream about it and wake up. White freckles, I'm black. My sweat is extra acidic. I can fully rust guitar strings in a week or two, and have eaten holes on 2 laptops where I rest my hands, both happened within a year of use. If I have to pee really bad, I get a sharp pain in my molars. My eyes have been misaligned since birth. I've had 2 surgeries, one immediately after birth, and one in high school, to try to correct it, but they are still misaligned by about 1 degree, possibly more now considering it's been many years. This means I've never been able to use both of my eyes at once, so I do not have depth perception. People sometimes ask what it's like not having depth perception, and my response is, what's it like to have depth perception? Until the second surgery I had to wear glasses, but afterwards my eyes were close enough that my brain could automatically choose which one to use based on the distance of whatever I was looking at. This is handy because one of my eyes is nearsighted and the other is farsighted, so I get the advantages of both. I'm also double jointed in the hips and can put my feet behind my head, and I walk duck-footed thanks to my weird feet. I have a straight line of freckles from my shoulder, down my arm, to my middle finger. I have 2 uteruses. Uteri, that is. I can wiggle my ears, my pupils, dilate my eyes on command, make my eardrums vibrate to help damper loud noises, but I can't think in pictures and color. I look like a spider. My long appendages are in direct contrast to my short torso weary face spider. I have a little stump in my pinky that's an extra finger. Doctor wrapped thread around it when I was born. Ever since my earliest memory I have found the sensation of anything touching my neck and anywhere near my collarbone area absolutely unbearable. Skin crawling, want to peel out of my body, can't hold still when I think about it, unbearable. I can't drive with windows down, I stretch my shirt collars out in my sleep. At the dentist I have to constantly be pulling that little bib that they put on you down away from my neck. I can't even look at someone wearing a turtleneck or a choker or even a tightish necklace. It really actually gets in the way of me enjoying a lot of things and is really embarrassing, lol. I have tried exposure therapy, like wearing things with a somewhat snug fit around my neck or a somewhat tight necklace, but I just can't do it. It's awful. Not a joke, I only have one visible testicle. I have something called an ascended testicle IIRC, where one of my nuts never dropped, I guess. I also have a condition called visual snow, where I basically see static in my vision in darker places. I have 3 kidneys. 2 that tried to kill me, and 1 that I received from an unknown hero. Since my foot injury in 2015, I can tell when the weather is going to change in it. I was getting custom molded earplugs made to block out the sound of our next door neighbor and his, at least, 3 different alarms that go off between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I have always struggled with the normal foam earplugs, ever quite able to get them to fit properly or having much sound deadening taking place when I did manage to get them crammed into my lug holes. The audiologist who was taking the impressions of my ears commented that I have unusually narrow ear canals. Guess that explains the problems with other earplugs. My vision is black and white like 1/3 of the time for no reason, doesn't relate to being lightheaded or anything, just weird. My fingerprints have almost faded away. I'm 56, and I can't use those fingerprint readers for anything. It happened to my mom, and now my 31-year-old daughters are going. It's weird. Every time I squat, my knees crack very loudly. Woke up paralyzed from the chest down one day aged 27. Spinal MS/transverse myelitis, no recovery, none expected, but it's so weird that even my neuro is like this phenotype is vanishingly rare in Europeans, and whatever you're doing seems to be working when I ask him for any advice. Looking through local medical records, university access, I can't pinpoint a single person with a case like mine in the last 100 years. I wore super pointy shoes all through JR High and my pinky toes stopped growing. They are small and squished into the rest of my foot. Boring, I know. I birthed a fully intact empty amniotic sac when I gave birth to my son. The doctor looked at me like I shape-shifted into an alien. Probably my head shape. Having an oblong head is far from fun. I will snap if I hear a "why the long face" joke one more time, loudly crying face. I can move a vein without touching it on my hand to make it look like a worm is moving. Energy drinks and coffee have very limited effect, to the point where I feel sleepy while drinking them. I am biologically female. Was born female. Live in a female body. I am 100 points male at the cellular level. My DNA is male. And I no longer have the blood type I was born with. Don't know how weird it is, but vitiligo. I can literally stare anyone down without blinking for several minutes at a time. Freaks people out. If I inhale through my nose super fast, it does something to my ear canals such that it filters out a lot of low frequencies and a good bit of volume. I can basically turn it on/off at will. Comes in quite handy if I forget earplugs at a concert, or if I'm having trouble hearing people talk in a crowded room. I have a birthmark in the shape of a T-Rex. I could lose some weight. I can push my shoulder blades up so that I look like a gargoyle. I often sneeze when I feel like I'm about to throw up, and then the nausea immediately goes away. I was born with a webbed hand. Had a bunch of surgeries to correct it, but my hand is smaller than my normal hand, and my co-workers call me Tiny Paw.